In today's video, I'm going to be ranking every single boss fight in the newly released Resident Evil 4 Remake. I believe that there are 7 boss fights in this game. Let's see where I rank them. The Verdugo boss fight, I believe, is the only bad boss in the Resident Evil 4 Remake, but I'll give this guy some credit. It does have a very cool design that would put it high up on this list, but a good design does not save this boss from just not being very fun. It's not a good fight when you have to run around and get swiped at until the boss decides to come out. Then you have to keep running around and can only attack it once it gets blasted by some cold air. So just for the sole reason of having to avoid Verdugo to win, it stays at the bottom of this list. Don't get me wrong, this boss fight is really cool and I really enjoyed it, but it just felt too easy and like I didn't have to try in order to win. This was because it is very easy to dodge the very few attacks Del Lago throws at you. I feel an easy way to fix this boss would have been to give Leon a limited number of spears to throw. With a limited number of spears, I would actually have to think about whether or not my spear will hit him, and I would be more cautious about wasting my spears, therefore making the boss more challenging, and therefore better. This ranking includes both fights with Krauser. Let's start with the first fight where both Leon and Krauser use knives. I think it's a cool idea, but what I'm looking for in a boss is Leon going guns blazing, saying lit one-liners, and hitting the tree. And this boss fight just feels like a bore. The second Krauser fight starts off with Leon having to hide from Krauser's Tommy gun, and after this Krauser just starts teleporting in front of Leon and having a swing at him. I hated this part and it went on for far too long, but once you get to the actual boss fight, it's pretty solid, and that's why it's a little higher on the list. This ranking is just due to the size of El Gigante, whatever, and how satisfying it was to overcome and defeat them. Plus, in the Double Trouble fight, Louis straps a freaking bomb to the back of one of the giants, and once Leon explodes the dynamite, he drops the monster into its lava grave. Very epic. This boss fight had an amazing glow up from the original, because in the original RE4, Ramon kinda just sat in one place, making the fight pretty boring, but in this game he's flying around the room like a demonic Spider-Man. My only gripe with this boss, however, that docks a couple points, is every time one of his tentacles touches the arena, it makes a big sludge bomb. This wouldn't be a problem in a normal fight because you are usually looking near the ground, so you would see the bomb. But in this fight, Salazar is literally on the ceiling, so if you try to keep your eyes on him, you are definitely going to run into one of those stupid sludge bombs. But other than that, the boss has many interesting moves that are fun to dodge, but I just think there are still other bosses that outdo him. My favorite part of this boss fight is the fact that the player actually has to be accurate and try to destroy all of Sadler's balls. Eyeballs, that is. This makes the boss fight challenging and different to all of the other ones. My only problem with this boss is when Sadler spawns in a bunch of those stupid bugs to help, which I have always hated because I'm not there to defeat an enemy that I have already killed hundreds of. No. I'm there to take down the big guy who I've been chasing this entire game so that I can get on the freaking jet ski with the girl and just ride into the sunset. But other than that, this boss fight is great. Sadler's design is great, the arena is great, and his final transformation is great. Not the best fight, however. I believe there is an argument to be made for which is the best boss out of these last 3. But after looking through all of them, I couldn't find a single problem with the big cheese fight. First off, I love this design. Mendez was already a pretty tall dude, then they strapped him onto one of those medieval stretchers, and the final product was some demonic looking Gumby. Love it. And the burning building that the fight takes place in is such a change of scenery from the dark, sluggish looking backgrounds throughout the rest of the game. But the thing that took it home for me and made it my favorite was when the dude ditches his legs and starts climbing around the ceiling and starts throwing wood and barrels at you. Couldn't have asked for anything more from the big cheese boss fight. The Resident Evil 4 Remake is a dang near perfect game, and even the worst boss isn't even that bad. I don't like the concept of it and how it goes, but it's still smooth, it's still a lot better than many other games. So, yeah, this game is pretty great. Final statement, like and subscribe.